For welcome everyone. It is late here on the East Coast. This is what devotion looks like when you're busy parents. Between the three of us, we have four very busy children. And I'm just really very grateful to be here with Cassie and Nate tonight. They have two very young children. They both work full time. They are very busy and we met just about almost 4 years ago, and Cassie was pregnant, and maybe it was 3 years ago, but
Three.
she was pregnant and she just had a baby really, and I started giving her water and it really just helped her so much. So eventually it led to her investing in this technology for her family, and she is a nurse and she works a lot in the health industry. She started her business all around, Cassie's clinic, like really helping people heal in a big way. So I'm really excited to interview her tonight, but I would love to just know from the two of you, what was before you really met me, like what was your view on water? I know Nathan has totally heard about this, Will, before you, maybe Cassie, but both of you, like what was your view on water, and how is it different now?
Well, so I started I've seen ionizers before, but I didn't really know anything about it. I just knew it was good water and I didn't know the science behind it. I knew it tasted really good and I don't even know what brand it was. Um, but I've seen it, like I used to do yoga a lot and they would always have it at the yoga studio and stuff like that. And I really didn't know much about it. I just knew it was good water. And I would fill up my whole jug with it, so
Right. And I started learning about things like fluoride and other chemicals that they put in the water probably around 10 years ago. So I knew that, the tap water was no good. There for a while, I didn't really understand microplastics and things like that. So I thought bottled water was generally safe for several years until just a couple years ago, really.
mhm.
They really started, cracking down. Plus, you can taste the plastic in the bottles. But I knew I didn't want to drink tap water, so for years I don't even know how much money I spent on bottled water. I mean, probably tens of thousands of dollars on bottled water. For many years, I drank distilled water because I thought that was the purest, and then I
Mhm.
realized it was like leaching the minerals out of my body, and it was making me sick. So I switched to spring water. And then I started getting really like picky about the spring waters I would drink. And I think some of them were actually decent. Um, but I knew probably about 9 years ago, I somebody approached me about Kangen water.
Mhm.
And that this was when it was really first like becoming real popular, I think, in the US. I think the West Coast, it got more popular quicker, like in the early 2000s, than it did the rest of the country. But the Midwest, you didn't hear about Kangen water till about 2014, 15, and then it started getting really popular. And I just got like inundated with all these different offers from different people at the same time within like a 6 month period. So I started researching it and I became like really interested. I wanted to actually invest then because I knew I saw the business opportunity, but more importantly, I saw the health benefits. And
Mhm.
there's more research done on it now than there was then with the hydrogen. And but even then I knew I wanted it. It was still, the same price as it is now, except I know it's getting ready to increase here in like a week. But back then I was like, that's a lot of money. My mom and a girl I was dating at the time who, she was a wealthy girl and she, I kind of respected her opinion. She was a little bit older than me and they both told me not to do it. Like, I don't know. They just didn't. I know neither one of them bothered to research it in depth. They just thought that's a scam.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, don't spend that money, Nathan, on that. So I still wanted to do it, but I didn't do it. Just because I didn't want to hear the criticism, and they kind of got me second guessing it a little bit. But in
Yeah.
the back of my mind, I still knew about Kangen water for all these years, and I did know it was a superior water. So when we met you a few years ago, you were telling us about it, and I said, yeah, I know, quite a bit about that already. And we do like that water, but at that time we just like, I don't know, we just weren't ready to invest in it yet. I mean, we probably could have, but we didn't do
What
it
made
yet.
us finally do it is our desperation, really, because it was our health. Like, we were spending all this money, on all the bottled water, and we were not feeling hydrated. And, we knew from years ago, and we are just like, we need to get this Conga machine, you know.
Right,
It's worth it. Like, our health is worth it. So
right.
now we feel a lot better
And
now.
we did. I think when we met you at that time, I had just installed a reverse osmosis system in our apartment. And I was pretty content with that because I was adding minerals into it, after I got it. And I was like, well, this is good enough. And then we moved to the mountains, and then we had great water while we were in the mountains. So we never had to buy any water the whole time we were there. But once we had to come down off that mountain, we really started to feel it. Having to look for literally, we're searching for clean water, and it was becoming a real burden to us. So we were like, you know what? I think it's time to invest in the Kangen machine. So we just bought another RO system. This one's way better than the one we had before, and got the K8 from Enagic all in the same like 2 or 3 weeks. So that was probably 3 months ago or 4 months ago now, and we've been enjoying great water ever since. I would say it's the best water. So I've tested it against many other waters, and it's always been the best. So
Yeah, tell me about all the other uses in the machine that you've been trying and doing without even knowing. Like, so obviously you invested in this to save money on all the bottled water you were drinking,
Yes.
feel better from not having to constantly be buying bottled water and like constantly thinking about how much water you have and storing the water, sourcing it, all of those things. And like now we know that most spring water is only 2% spring water in that bottle. That bottle is sitting on a shelf for 5 to 10 years. Like it's collecting so much microplastics. I just saw like 9 million cases of Fiji was just recalled today because of 3 different bacterias, E. coli's, which I have been saying for the last 3 years, and people call me crazy, like Fiji's the best. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm like, there is E. coli, and I test it. People test it. They've literally said it's dirtier than a toilet bowl. And to be
Wow.
honest, it's like people believed all of a sudden that all of these soda companies had their best interests. Like all of a sudden they jumped from didn't care about you to now they care about you. It's like, no, they just are trying to keep selling you something because you stop buying their soda. Okay. So now
Right.
they need to sell you something because they need to keep their profits
A health
where they
drink.
are. Exactly. And people love their sugar. They love that. So, but again, they go for the water thinking it's the better option. And there's all of these added things to it. And again, some of it's just tap water. And they say RO, but no testing is done on these things. The FDA is really not seriously caring at all about what
No.
is in the food or water we consume. So at this point, it is our responsibility to take this power back, actually be able to create our own living water at our own need. Like I'm about to go fill a cup, which means that I literally just get to walk into my kitchen, hit a button, turn on my sink, and get fresh, alive water that I can consume immediately. And then I don't have to waste anything. Like I'm not throwing anything away. There's no tiny little hydrogen bottle that I have to then go plug into a wall and go charge that I can't clean, that only makes 16 ounces. Like I can run off as much water as I need. So tell us like what other things you've used the machine for, and like how much more benefit did you get? Like even with the business and the mentorship and the community and the trainings and the calls and all of the opportunities you have to learn a high ticket skill. Like tell me what you like you went in buying a water machine and now what? Like tell us what's the result?
Right.
You were
So
so afraid to invest the money, for years and years and years, and now you did, and now what? Like what's the result?
so the result is we loved it so much that we've been sharing it with everyone we possibly can, and trying to give it to people, our neighbors, just to help them, our coworkers. And we actually invested in a couple different loaner machines so that we can offer people free trials, because we know if people try it, for 30 or 40 days, they're going to want this technology in their kitchen. So we feel like that's a really powerful tool that we have, is to be able to offer that free trial to someone, and with them not feeling any pressure to buy one, but just try it and see how it is, see how it improves the quality of their life, and just their health, see if they have health benefits, and just to have that whole experience. We think that's great. So because once we actually did experience it, we realized, had we experienced this through a free trial like this, we probably would have bought one, sooner. I mean, at least for us, because we didn't realize the experience. So, two of my favorite features of that machine are the strong Kangen 11.5 and the 2.5 hypochlorous acid. So I think it's just amazing that this machine makes those two waters in addition to the hydrogen water, the three types of hydrogen water, and of course, just your regular neutral pH clean water, and the 5.5 or 6, whichever. I've heard it's both, but it says 6 pH beauty water, and that's a great water too. But the hypochlorous acid and the strong Kangen, I think, are just two of the most revolutionary waters that are out there. I mean, just everything that both of them can do, it's so versatile. There's really no other device out there that can do what this machine can do.
Yeah.
And there are devices that do, from what I understand, they do like these individual functions, but I don't think there's anything like it that does all of these and so efficiently. So the hypochlorous acid is like,
You can breathe it in.
yeah, you can breathe it in. It's so safe for your health and for the environment, but yet it will kill like any fungus, virus, or bacteria within seconds. And you don't have to wear gloves to handle it. Even the CDC acknowledges its power and its effectiveness at killing, you know, funguses, viruses, and bacteria. I mean, that's amazing that you just have an unlimited supply of sanitizer, and to sterilize your house. And then the other side of that, well, yeah, we can also nebulize it too. They've been studying more about that, and we tried it. It actually did work.
Yeah.
So we were feeling a bad cold coming on and a sore throat, and we nebulized it one night, and the next day it was gone.
And I
So
actually gave some to a coworker for her son, and he nebulized it and felt better.
Right.
So I really feel like a big part of it is just sharing it with people, like you did for us. We were very, almost pretty much angry with you. We were like, we were like, we don't need this, and we realized,
Hold on. Uh-oh.
wow, we actually do need this, because even if you buy the most natural cleaners, it's not going to be as effective as this. And you
Right.
have an unlimited supply that you can make with this machine. It's just amazing. I use it every single day. I have it in spray bottles. I love it so much.
Right. And then the other water, the 11.5 strong Kangen, its ability to remove pesticides is astonishing. I mean, I watch it, I let something soak for probably 10 minutes and then I, rinse it off really well, dump the water out into or I just take my produce out and I usually have it in a clear container and it looks a like a cup full of urine. And it just shows you
we didn't had no idea like it was that bad.
it just shows you that there's that much pesticides on our organic and inorganic produce. And to be consuming that, I mean, that has to like mess with people's heads, like knowing you're putting that in your body, even though they don't actually realize how bad it is until you remove it and you can see it. So its ability to emulsify oils, and I know it probably doesn't remove 100%, but it probably moves at least 90%. I would say it takes off at least 90% of the pesticides.
Yeah.
And probably if you kept doing it over and over, you probably could get it all off. But it's amazing that you can get, something that, traditionally, people think you can't remove the pesticides, or they are naive and think that their tap water is actually removing the pesticide, even though all it is injecting chlorine into it and making it twice as worse,
You have to do it
by washing it with you're better off not washing it in your tap water and just eating it without washing it. But
I don't know what's
but I
worse.
don't know. Then you see the bugs. You see these what are they called? These slides where people put it under microscopes and you see all the bugs on the produce. How there's all these little parasites that are on produce, like all these strawberries and different. I've seen quite a few of them now. And I know that, the tap water probably does help a little bit with those. But if you wash it with the strong Kangen, there's no way that they're going to stay on there. I mean, because it's so slippery and it emulsifies oil, there's no way they can stay on there. So not only are you washing all the pesticides off, but you're also washing off the parasites. And I think that's just amazing.
Yeah.
And also, as you know, it does so many other things. It's a powerhouse degreaser, the 11.5, and it's great for detangling hair. I've used it as a conditioner before. When I ran out of conditioner, it removes paint off my hands better than anything I've ever used, including mineral spirits or paint thinner. It removes oil-based paints off my hands. Like if my glove breaks or if I get to wear a glove, if sometimes I forget to wear gloves and I get paint on my hand at work and it's extremely toxic. So you want to wash that off. Water doesn't wash it off very well. So, but the strong Kangen works great. And it just eliminates so many different cleaners that strong Kangen does.
And toxins.
And toxins, to where, and you can use it as laundry soap. We've done a ton of different things with that water. I know there's a lot more that you can do with it that we haven't, but I've just tested it on a few things. I emulsified some flaxseed oil earlier tonight, and that worked really great. So,
Yeah,
it's
so many things. You can
Yeah.
wash your rice, your beans, you can wash your produce, you can make tenderize meats, you can make salad dressings, you can Use it to pull stains out of carpets, degrease your oven, clean your car. Like there's so many different uses.
Everything.
I mean, I've used it to heal chicken pox. Like there's so many uses for it. It's just nice that you can try it first. It's super convenient. It's right in your kitchen. It's in the moves. It's the mecca of the house where everything is. Like we're always cooking in there. We're always using it. We use it all day long. Like it's definitely the most used tool in our house. So
Yeah.
I would say, is there anything else that you wanted to share with everybody? And then also, like, where can people find more information from you? Like, what's your website and your social media handle?
There you go, Cass.
Yeah, so I have a goal that Ashley mentioned in the beginning. I've always had a dream, Cassie's clinic, I love people, I want to help them, and that's why this business is great for us. We have a doorway where we can, give people clean water. I mean, that's a thing that people they don't really talk about it. They talk about supplements, they talk about all these things you can do, but they don't talk about water as much. And I feel like this is a great way to kind of, I mean, that's what we need, water. I mean, you can
Your
you can
website.
go 40 days and you have to have water still. So,
Right.
but yeah, my website is Cassie's Clinic. So,
Cassie'sClinic.com.
cassiesclinic.com.
Yeah, and Cassie is a nurse. She's working in the medical field right now, and she just sees the amount of money spent on bottled water and you know, all of the patients are getting bottled water. And so her drive comes from a place of not only like helping her and her family, but she really definitely wants to help in the medical industry and like really change things from the inside out. And she also has to handle all of this like these cleaning wipes that literally have warning labels on them. And, it's just wild what is allowable because
Yeah,
of the I mean, and how toxic it is. And like, we'll just put a label on it that says it's toxic, but still make you use it, right? But ultimately, then these other things like our product that are more natural are called scams, right? So these
right,
people, Nathan, who told you like, don't buy it, it's a scam, like it's too good to be true, right? Like, why are these people so fanatical about it? Like, there must be something wrong. Like we're programmed to believe like when things are really, really amazing and people are super happy and like super excited about it, like something must be up. And so we're just changing that paradigm. Like it doesn't have to be that way. And you can take that energy of like fear and scam energy and run towards the companies that are dumping these chemicals into the public systems, right? Number
yeah,
one, the bottled water companies that are the soda companies that are stealing from indigenous and then adding all these chemicals to it, run after those people, right? But do not run after the people like you and I who are
right,
parents who are literally doing our best to say, okay, we want more time with our children. We want more present time, but also we want money to be able to pay for, okay, so it says in 2024, it is going to cost it's going to cost at least $11,000 extra a year just to buy the basic essentials, the same exact groceries that you bought in 2020. So I want to just say, like, in order to actually keep up with just buying the essentials, our jobs aren't enough. Our income cannot be capped. We cannot be told we can only make so much, but we have only so many hours in a day. What we are teaching here with this high ticket method is literally no cap. No one is telling you how much money you can make. Because Cassie purchased her machine for me does not mean she can only ever make what I make. She can make way more than I make. This is not multi-level marketing. This is direct sales. So Cassie is her own distributor and I am my own distributor, right? It is secular. We are paid in a pie, and this is a patented compensation plan. It is very complex, but again, the reason why it's patented is because this Japanese family that started this business is the same mom and dad. It's a mom and pop company. They have no debt. They have like they own 100%, right? They literally control everything. They have OEM, certified original equipment manufacturer. These people make everything from start to finish.
Right.
That is so important is because your quality assurance is so key when you're buying a medical product that is going to last for, 2.5 decades here. So what we're
Right.
sharing with you and what I have shared with Cassie and Nathan is that, you know, learn from us. This is not just a purchase and run. Like the whole reason you are investing in with Cassie and Nate is to invest in them, their vision, their future, and also the secular nature of water. We are mostly water. We walk around so opposite of water. We walk around rigid, we walk around stuck, we walk around, not flowing. Like think about how many things in the body require more water. So people have more cholesterol. Okay, your cells missing more water. People have more histamines. You are missing water. You are tired, you're achy. You have loss of electricity. You need more hydrogen. Okay. So these things are very simple in retrospect, but people think that, oh, it's just changing my water. We've all been through it. You just talked about how you did RO, you added minerals, you did distilled, you did all these other things. Nothing felt as good as this. You tried everything
Right.
else. Most people do that. They try everything else. Like the last thing they do is try Kong and they're like, oh my God, I wish I would have just did this 10 years ago. Like this is so good. So right now it's May 26th, right? It is, we have like literally 4 or 5 days. Like it's nighttime here. It's 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast. So really 4 days to make an investment that is truly going to change your life and truly, it is so worth the price now and what it is going to be when the price increases, but also just
Absolutely.
yeah, just know that we have all of the resources for you to be able to hook this up, to be able to use it properly, to be able to learn all of the systems associated with it, and then also the community, the business, all of that, if that is what you want. But again, no pressure on that because we don't need you guys to make sales. If you do not want to, that is perfectly on you. We are just here to share and the servitude of this water and this mission, because again, guys, this is way greater than us. You think we're just gonna leave all of this plastic on the planet and the ocean? You think every single meal that you dispose of gets recycled? Like only 2%
Oh
of
my goodness.
Right.
so all of that's going into a landfill or the ocean that's left for our children and their children and their children. 500 years? How many generations is that? So we have to like stop thinking so short-sightedly, like in our convenience model. This is the most convenient thing you can ever own. And
Right.
honestly,
Absolutely.
you can clean it from your own home. You can send it into a local office to clean it. You have options on making this thing last, right? So again, this is not any other ionizer. This is nothing you can buy on Amazon or Walmart or going to a store. This is something you buy through a direct distributor because you get the value of all of these other things that you will never get from an Amazon link. Okay, so ask Nate and Cassie how you can find more information on the health, on the wealth, on the mindset, on the mental health, on, just how this biologically helps your energy. They have all the resources. And if they don't, they can ask me. Again, thank you so much, both of you, for being on here. I know you're exhausted and busy parents, but this definitely helps you keep more energized, right? Like more energized
Right.
with little ones.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And one thing I want to say as we close this down. So Japan is like blowing the US away medically. I mean, I think they're number 2 ranked in the world, something like that. They're ranked at the very top in healthcare and in medicine. So the Japanese Ministry of Health has certified this machine as a medical device. So what they say to me, the Japanese healthcare system carries a lot more weight than the US healthcare system because they have better healthcare. They have better doctors, they have better technology, they have better manufacturing practices, they have higher levels of skill, they have higher IQs. Just all across the board, they're just squatting on the US. So their certifications to me are actually more legitimate. They carry more weight than a US certification. And just to know that the Japanese, they regard this machine as an actual medical device because it does produce medical grade water, multiple different kinds of it. So that's just something to like take into consideration when you look at this machine. It's not just like some random machine. It actually is recognized as a medical device from, one of the leading authorities in medicine in the world. And that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, both of you are super knowledgeable. You've done a ton of research. You've, invested in it for yourself, invested in other filters like the multi-pure for your loaner machine, and honestly just done as ton of research on this. So I'm super grateful to work with the two of you. And yeah, I mean, please reach out to them if you have any questions. And thank you both so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your night.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.